When you ask most young children, what does a scientist look like? They all think Albert Einstein, but they may not think about their local baker, their local mechanic, but those are scientists as well. The Futures program is an initiative that allows storytelling from the perspective of scientists, and not just any scientists you might find in a research lab, but scientists that we find in our everyday lives.
Futures is a science communication program funded by the GlaxoSmithKline Foundation, and its purpose is to reach underrepresented talent in urban and rural areas throughout North Carolina at the local community colleges. Through a series of workshops, we teach participants how to create a STEM identity story that they share at one of their events on campus, such as the NC Science Festival. A lot of them have never been reflective about their journey of how they got to the position they are, and it's really helped them in understanding the why and reignite passion in what they do.
Story is how we understand things. We humans, we're hardwired for story. People often forget facts, but they will remember a story. One of the things that's really interesting about sharing one's personal journey into STEM is that you can never know for sure what aspect of your story will connect with somebody who's listening to it.
And I will never forget the first time I put on my hearing aids. And we go outside, and the wind was blowing. And you know that sound as the wind goes through the leaves of trees, that whispering sound that you heard? I had never heard that before. Science has the ability to improve people's lives. It helped me a lot by opening up an entire world. Why not yours?
The Futures program is important because it allows for people from all kinds of different backgrounds to be able to share their stories, and for young children and young students in schools today to be able to hear those journeys because they may be on a similar path.
It really does create a ripple effect because it shows others that, hey, my sister can do it, I can do it too. Hey, my neighbor can do it, I can do it too. Some of our participants have been first-generation college students, and with that, they've changed the expectation for their whole families. One of our students shared that because of her going to community college, now all of the cousins are expected to go to college as well. So it's making a huge impact.
And so we get to high school. I've always been good at math and science, and I decide I'm gonna go in and study biology. I go to my exit interview with my guidance counselor. We sit down, he's talking to me, and what he says to me when I say I wanna go into biology is, girls don't do science. But I don't believe that. I still to this day go out in the field and play with crayfish and clams and do everything that any other boy did. So keep following your dreams and you can do anything.
Here in North Carolina, we are fortunate to have 58 community colleges. We have a community college about 30 minutes from every citizen here in the state. That is a great benefit. Many of the degrees that you receive from a community college, they have a very substantial financial impact on the economy here in North Carolina. And it's so important for the citizens of North Carolina, for prospective students to see that, to understand that.
There's so much science, technology, engineering, and math that goes into fields and careers and jobs that we don't always think about as traditional STEM careers. We think about a cosmetologist who's putting chemicals in your hair. There's some chemistry that they need to be aware of, and they need to know what reactions are happening. Science in terms of welding and making sure you have all of the right parameters set to make sure you've got structurally sound materials, and so many other careers that our community colleges are training our workforce for are really rooted in science and STEM concepts.
Many of the everyday people and the people in our lives and in our homes and in our families, many of them have really cool scientific jobs. It is all about seeing that science is for all, and it's definitely for all citizens of North Carolina.
I was very happy when I was invited to the Futures program, because in the beginning I told my advisor, I was like, I don't believe I have a story, but I did have a story to share with y'all today.